Welcome, everybody. We have an owner operator update coming to you. My name is Jeff Moriarty. I'm the director of social media here at Swift, but I am not the star of this show. The two people directly to my side here are. So, yeah, these two wonderful folks. So, at the far end there, we have Brett. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic. Good to be here.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah,
everyone.
I'm glad to have you. And then right in the middle, um, either the peanut butter in the sandwich here. Ian, how are you?
He's been
Very
called
good.
worse, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we have a bunch of stuff to cover here. And first off, though, we've got some recognitions. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to give a shout out. There's been a multitude of owner operators that have achieved 1 million and 2 million miles so far this year. We had a big event last year to recognize those folks that accomplished their 3 and 4 million miles,
Right.
and wanted to give a shout out to one of our long-standing owners, Jewel. Called that man the Cowboy Nation. Loves the Dallas Cowboys, but not as much as he loves trucking. But yeah, 2 million miles he's accomplished this year.
That's
So
a heck of a milestone.
That is
yeah,
awesome.
we're excited for him. And then we have another an owner that can now say own it. Mr. Mark Fisher. He has paid off his truck this week, so he'll be riding into the sunset there with the title and enjoying the rest of his career without that truck payment. So
Oh,
excited for
fantastic.
him.
Yeah. Both of them great milestones. So, hey, Jeff Morton. Hello to you. Craig checking in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look, Charles, I'm getting behind here. I was going to say, if you are watching, we appreciate that. We love hearing from our drivers. So whether you're an owner op or company or whoever, average car guy, we can't
I
wait
love
for
that Mustang.
you
That's not average.
to start your Swift career with us. No, it's not. That's a nice car. Leave
Yeah.
a comment, say hi. Where are you watching from? We love to have everybody check in, and then if you want to ask a question, put it either on our YouTube page or on the Facebook, wherever you happen to be watching it, and we will get to it.
Yeah. One more shout out that just came to me too.
Oh,
Charlie wanted to give him some recognition for getting into a new lease. So never say never, right, Charlie?
wait,
Right.
this our Charlie,
Oh
Charlie.
yeah.
Oh, well, I don't
Contractor's corner,
know.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't know. You give that guy any more recognitions, and his head is just going to get so big. He's not going to fit on his video. It's going to need like a widescreen TV. So
He deserves it. He's
Yeah.
been going through some pains, but now he's got a new truck and he's happy.
yeah, no, Charlie's a fantastic guy, just busting his chops a little bit there. Adam, saw that you were coming here. Fantastic. Looking forward to have you. There we go. If you've got questions, this is focused on owner ops, but Brett is full of many things. One of the things he's full of is knowledge about Swift. So if you've got other questions, ask away.
That could
All
have went
right.
so many different directions. I appreciate you there.
What?
So
Yeah.
I
yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know
nice.
what you mean. Hmm. Okay, well we'll move on. Um, so I know the thing that everybody is excited for. Put it in, we could do a video on just good morning, and people are going to ask about the load board. So we
Absolutely.
had a load board update. So do you have a load board update?
Yeah, we do. But I think we wanted to talk first about maybe AB5 and some other things. So
So
yeah,
so you're just going to tease people. They're going to have to wait if they want to get
yeah,
the load board up. Oh, all right, you
absolutely.
are
Just
playing
hang
a
in there.
you're playing a hard game here. Okay, well let's talk about the impact of the AB5 law. First, you want to explain what that is for anybody who doesn't know?
Yeah. And I would also encourage everyone to take a look yourself as well as you sort through different articles. Please read it more than one to get the full aspect of what it is. But the biggest thing I wanted to discuss today is where we are as far as our concern level at Swift. And so if most concern is a 10, we're at a 0. And the reason for that is that we've been prepared for this since 2018. So we've been working, feverishly for many years to ensure that all of our owner operators are not contracted out of the state of California. They don't have a CDL in the state of California, and they don't operate any of the majority of their miles in the state of California. So Go ahead.
Just to clarify, so this law it impacts how companies classify contractors, correct? It's not
Correct.
it's not trucking industry specific or whatever. It's a general law, and this is we've been preparing for it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the impact is more on to the trucking industry. And it's focused around the definition of independence, essentially. So there's a lot of what's in it for the state of California, along with some of the unions, but ultimately, the law impacts those that are operating with a California CDL and that either are dispatched through a company or do not have their own authorities. So there's just there's the ABC test that's out there, so you could take a look at those three questions, whether or not that it would impact you directly. But we've used that ABC test to ensure that we would pass all three categories. So we're excited that we would and will.
Excellent. And we had Lunar Lone Wolf was asking that exact question, so we got Lunar. Sorry, Ian, you were going to say.
I was just going to say that, just kind of echoing in on what Brett said, is that again, we don't have a lot of concern about that AB5 law actually going into effect now in California, and we've prepared not just in California but across the country. So there's a number of different states that have potential to follow the California law and implement something similar, if not the same. And we've already prepared for those states as well. So even as this, or if this increases throughout the country, then I think we're very prepared for that. And the thing is we would love to contract with contractors with a California CDL license. The problem is the people who are making the laws, and so
Yeah,
get
makes
out
it
there
really
and vote,
difficult.
make those changes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, and then we've got a few more people checking in here in the comments. It looks like we've got Ken Smith. We've got Christian from Chicago. How you doing out there? Ken saying, "Yep, Memphis, Tennessee, new OO consultant. Welcome to the
What up,
party."
Ken?
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome.
Victor chiming in from Texas.
I
Yeah.
saw one from Kosovo. Like, wow, we're
Yeah, I
getting
don't think. Yeah,
some
we.
long reach.
Yeah, well, that's the power of the internet. I would have to check, but I don't think we have any routes in Kosovo right now.
Okay, all right. The
But yeah,
freight's light over there for us.
yeah. Oh, we
For
got
sure.
more coming in here. We've got Julian from Lancaster. So yeah. So all right. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching. If you got any other questions, leave them in the comments. You know how this works.
Hey, one thing
Or
I wanted to
next up.
touch
Oh
on,
yes.
just
Please
real
go.
quick. A great question. Justin had a question. Do company drivers like myself benefit from watching this? Absolutely, 100%. You can benefit from this. Just getting an understanding of what that next step in the trucking industry could be for you and becoming an owner operator. We're just getting that information out to you guys so that it you can make that determination if it's something you want to do.
Yeah, and we're going to do a video. We talked about this last time, and it's on my radar here of how could a company driver become an owner operator. It's not for everybody, but for some people, it's a fantastic solution, and a chance to start their own business, get their own truck, and so yeah, watch, ask questions if you've got them. Love to have you here.
Yeah.
All right, so we hit AB5. So and now are we going to do the load board update?
Not just yet.
Killing me here. Well, so what do you want to do next? You want to talk fuel?
Yeah, let's discuss some fuel.
All right. Okay.
So
Keep
the
hanging.
one, yeah, and this is important as well for those that were impacted, which was pretty much every owner operator because the EIA website had been down for multiple weeks. So the impact of our Swift owner operators was that we weren't able to get accurate data to then compile the fuel surcharge to put onto their settlement. So what we had to do is just mirror the fuel surcharge from weeks prior for the past 3 weeks. And the good news that I have for you today is now that that website's up and accurate again, we're going to make all of those corrections that will be on your settlement for next week. So yeah, and so for those of you that are concerned, the first thing we're addressing is for those people that are owed, and then of course we'll look to see if anyone was overcompensated that we might need to make some corrections. But we'll reach out to you individually before that's completed.
So just to make sure I understand, so the EIA website is the site that you use to get the fuel data to, for the fuel protections and so on that we, offer for all our owner ops. It's been offline, been sort of making our best guess to make sure none of our owner ops are left hanging because we always have our owner operators' backs. And now that it's back online, we'll get it all sorted. And if they've got any questions, they should do what?
Yeah, they can contact our rapid response team, and we can post that number up here by the end of the call, I'd hope, or you could also call our settlements team as well. But I would just ask for your patience and let those corrections roll out next week. And then if you have any questions after receiving your settlement, give us a call. We'll be glad to walk you through those things.
Excellent. All right. Anything else on fuel?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be important just to understand what fuel protection is and what we're talking about for you, those of you that might not be familiar, and maybe
Yeah.
Ian, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, the surcharge. Unfortunately, I wanted to mention the fuel across the country has been kind of on a downward turn over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and so where where I think we left off and got cut off from the information, I think we're in good shape. It hasn't been a dramatic change in fuel, but the change that we have seen has been a downward trend. So hopefully we haven't or aren't going to have to go back and really make a big difference in the settlements. I think it was very negligible, but absolutely will make it clean and fair for everybody. So but the way the surcharge works here at Swift, and the fuel protection is what we call it, fuel protection program, is as long as you are getting good fuel economy out of your truck, then you will not pay more than $1 for your fuel, and that's just the way that it is designed. So as fuel increases, it actually gives you a better opportunity to pay less, far less for your fuel. If you're a driver that can get 8 miles per gallon out of your truck, you're probably getting paid right now to drive or to burn fuel and putting extra money in your pocket the way that that works. So, the key is getting good fuel mileage, getting better than 7 miles per gallon out of your truck. And as long as you're doing that, these high costs of fuel, you're insulated from and protected from. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and if you speak to any of the owners that have been around and understand fuel protection, when fuel prices go down at the pump, they're actually not as excited as they are going up, because as the price at the pump goes up, so does your fuel surcharge. So
Right.
at one point in time, I mean, I think our fuel surcharge got to 78 cents a mile. And the variable that you have is what is your MPGs. So some of I think Charlie even mentioned when I was speaking to him last week, he was getting close to 10 miles per gallon or 9.5, and that's phenomenal. First off, that's someone that focuses on managing their fuel consumption,
Right.
and that goes right back into his revenue line. So
Yeah, heck yeah.
yeah,
All right. So if you have any questions on any of that, then again, leave a comment and we're going to come back at the end and we'll try to clear up a bunch of those that we have in the queue. I hate to ask. Are we finally, you're going to give the load board update at this point? Are we here?
I
Did
feel
we
like I should
arrive?
plug something else in. I'm trying to think of like what else could
Uh,
we let's take some questions here.
well, take some questions. All right. So I
Yeah.
guess we're still, okay. All right. We're going to questions. Where's my,
Can we get better fuel? So Lamar Gray asked, can we get better fuel discounts at the major truck stops? So currently at the big four stations, it's a nickel off um, per gallon, and that's credited back to your settlement. And hey, it's a great question that we definitely took a look at this year, but based upon what our fuel protection is, I mean, that's honestly where it makes it advantageous for the owner operator. Not to say we can't look and try to network with those fuel stations to see if we can get bigger discounts. But again, as I mentioned, our over the road owner operators were at one point, 79 cents a mile back to them. So um, yeah, so it's something we want to look at, and I appreciate the question.
let's see what else we have coming in here. Uh, Well, I think Adam's got a sort of a general one. Will Swift be expanding more terminals in the same state if there already is a terminal in that state?
Yeah, that's a good question. None, none that I'm aware of, but I think where it makes sense, we will. I'd say we just brought, 2 terminals online this year, one in Las Vegas and then one in Mobile, Alabama. So that was
And
exciting.
St. Louis is coming.
St. Louis is on the way. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just
It,
don't know.
I think, Adam, it's very dictated by the market, what our customers need, by freight. There are certainly states where we have multiple, or there are some fairly close together, but it's entirely need driven.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. So I apologize if I pronounce your name incorrectly, Makfus. My wife would like to get her CDL, but team with me as an owner operator. Is that possible, Brett?
It absolutely is. Yeah. So I'd encourage you to reach out to one of our owner operator business advisors. That number is streaming there at the bottom. Where's my finger? There we go. Um, we lost peanut butter too. I was like, I'm thrown
I
off.
know.
Where's my man? But absolutely, the answer is yes. And we just want to walk you through the steps on how to accomplish that.
All right. Okay. Very scientific sounding name. Trichology.
Nice.
Yeah, right. I mean, I kind of want. I feel like we should have this person in and talk about the science of trucks. How many owner ops does Swift have, and what percentage of Swift's revenue is made by the owner operator division?
Wow.
Off the top of your
Yeah.
head, Brett. Come on.
Well, I could definitely answer how many owner operators that we have. We are currently at today at 1,803 owner operators. That includes lease operators and then owners as well. So, but as far as the revenue, that's that's for the bean counters. I'm more of the ops guy.
Okay, fair enough. Um, and you mentioned earlier the rapid response number. I have that here. I'm going to put that up. And what is this for?
So rapid responses for any one of our current owner operators. Yeah, thank you. That has a question regarding their settlement or their truck, mechanical. Maybe your terminal wasn't available or they weren't too sure. You wanted to double check. I'd ask you first and foremost to reach out to your owner operator consultant or fleet leader. But secondarily, we're here for you Monday through Friday, 7 to 4, ready to take your calls and support you and serve your needs. So that's what that department exists for. And it's option one. So you dial that 888, hit option one, and someone will be with you within a minute and a half.
Okay.
Welcome back, peanut butter.
I
I was like, 2 pieces of bread is no good, man. We need a
I
peanut
know,
butter.
right? Exactly. All right. I don't think we can put this off any further. We can come back for some questions, but get these the poor people what they all
Da-da-da.
came for.
Yes. So the exciting update that we wanted to share with you today is that the load board is out of the development phase, which it is what it's been in for multiple years. I got to tell you, I was completely ignorant. I've learned so much through this where I thought it was like you just get a bunch of people together, you have the concept, and in 2 days you have what you want. And so I've learned
That's not how
that
that works.
no,
It's like 3 days, maybe
yeah, it's
4.
like I look at a road and I'm like, we just need a bridge here. We can get it built in 2 days. And nope, it just doesn't work that way. So learned a lot through this. I really wanted to thank everybody as well for their patience. I know a lot of you that are still with us today have been hanging on, just excited for this opportunity. And so we are excited as well. We're past development. We shared about a month ago on what the new user experience is and what it's going to look like. What was missing from that was the automation. So you can build something and make it look all great, but how does it work in the background? So we built it, looks great. Shout out to Premier Development. They helped us with that. It unfortunately failed when it came to some of the automation and some of the background work that needed to get done. The good news now, though, is that has now passed the test. So the automation is flowing. Um, the next step, though, we wanted to launch this last week and we hit some authentication issues, which I've learned now is important, right? That's the security from when you transfer from the
Yeah.
load board over into our systems. So some of that had failed. They're fixing those things. And next week we'll start beta testing. So we'll have a handful of owners that's going to be able to get in and see this new user experience. So
It's so exciting.
I know I am excited. I mean, I've been waiting. We've all been waiting.
Well,
So
we're definitely going to have a live stream just to, when the load board is out to just talk about it and just have party hats and
yes,
everything else, because I think the very first live stream I ever did, it was like load board.
yeah,
We've been doing these for several years now, so I'm sure.
yeah.
All
Yeah, I'd
right.
say one more thing too about it is in the background, we're still working on the third-party integrations. We're going to have multiple vendors with their freight as well visible on the board. And then we just have some dead-end things that we got to work through as well to ensure that our owners are compensated fairly and correctly. So some more to come there, but yep, still working every day through that, and we'll have more to come.
All right. Well, we've got some more questions. You guys have a few minutes to answer some of these.
Yeah.
For
All
sure.
right. Let's do it then.
As long as I can keep my internet up. Never did.
Yes. Please do that. We missed you. It was sad. We were crying. Okay. Here's a good one. So, will passengers need to be escorted in due to the new badges?
Yeah, I think in today's state that is the answer is yes. I think didn't we have a live event this week around the badging, or is that next
Yeah,
week?
yeah. So badging is getting implemented. Most of the Swift terminals are going to have it here very shortly. Drivers are expected to get their badges by August 2nd is the deadline date for it. And then, but there's still some of the details is, in terms of renewal, and you get dedicated drivers who don't get to a terminal a lot. There's a lot of,
Yeah,
details that people are getting acquainted with. My understanding is that yes, passengers are going to need to be escorted. Once the badging system's in place, because they're not going to obviously have their own badge, and we want everyone in a facility to have a badge to make sure the right people are there and the facilities are safe and secure.
absolutely.
All right. Kevin wants to know, can you explain the difference, and I believe you can, between owner op and lease op?
Yeah, Ian, you want to take that one?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I guess an owner op would be a guy who owns his own truck, and a lease op would be a guy who would be leasing his truck through IEL. So essentially, there's no other differences at Swift, and our program is an owner op and a lease op are very interchangeable. Um, ways of describing our program and the people, the drivers that are here with us. So I would say the only real difference is one guy already owns his truck and the other guy is leasing.
And to us, I mean, owning they're coming from the outside into Swift with their own tractor, and we're not aware if they owe anyone a payment or not. But anyways, yeah, that's the owner operator.
All right.
Yep.
Colin wants to know, they're in the process of getting their own CDL. How easy is it to become an owner operator?
It's not hard. It really it's a matter of experience more than say credit or that type of thing. So we're really looking at the type of driver and the experience that you have as a driver to qualify you for our lease program and our owner operator program. So not difficult at all. In 9 months of experience and a great safety record, there's a good chance you could get into our program with virtually no money out of your pocket. So
You want to hit some of these load board questions that have come in?
Yeah,
one I wanted to hit on real quick
Oh,
is Roland asks, does a lease op have a back end balloon payment, or can you use an upgrade option to stay in a newer truck? And that's a great question. And the answer is both. If you got into a truck, completed the term on the lease, and decided I love this truck, I'm going to keep it. It's been the best piece of equipment I've ever had. Then you certainly could have the option of moving it into the MRP program, or even purchasing the truck with the balloon payment. Um, but then we always have an option of owners completing their leases and just upgrading into another truck. So some guys just they love the warranty, they love the idea of having a newer truck with potentially less breakdowns, and so we've got both options available.
excellent. All right. Got two related questions. Will the load board be available to all or just OTR? And Robert wants to know, will the load board be available for reefer too?
yeah. So currently in this production phase that we're in is just over the road owner operators. What we're going to work for next is the over the road reefer team. And then most likely cap it at that, because that's where it would make most sense. Now, every owner operator at Swift has an option. They are never handcuffed to any of their rate contracts. If they would rather go back over the road and utilize the load board, you're free to do that. If you'd rather work for a dedicated under their contract and remain that way, then that's your choice as well. So it is available for everyone, but you would need to be an over the road owner operator under that rate agreement.
Got it. And then Sean wants to know, will owner ops work solely off of the load board?
No, I mean, they can. That's going to be a tool for them to utilize. The reason it was built was going to be more for times where freight isn't as abundant, because when freight is really abundant and flowing, most of our owners and drivers, company drivers as well, they don't even have time to look for a load. They're planned, double planned, and rolling. So,
Right.
but yeah, if you're someone that wants to look into it and plan out your days that way, that's the load board can be used for that.
All right. See some other questions on there. We've got some good ones. So
I think there's a lot.
Oh, go ahead.
I just saw a couple that kind of compiled around compensation. And so currently the load board is connected to the rate package for our owner operators, which is mileage based. And it's the rate per mile. So that's what it is today.
So based on the contract that the owner is currently running under.
Correct.
Yep.
Popping over, switching topics again. Kenneth Warnershuk, how you doing, Kenneth? Wants to know if there's going to be a bigger, better terminal site in Las Vegas than they currently have. Yes, there's a bigger facility planned there than is currently on the ground. It's just we need to get going, and we're building it as we go.
Yeah. Well, good. I mean, what other questions do we want to hit on?
No, I think we've hit most of the big ones. We've got some variations on here. If we didn't get to you, then we'll make sure, or if you see this after we've wrapped up, then we will answer your questions later. You're again more than welcome to call the 888 number that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and they can answer all your questions. That is an incredibly wise group of people right there.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are the best. We got a few more coming in here. Can a mentor be on a load board?
Yeah, so our owner operator training consultants can be on the load board if they're on an over the road rate package. I don't see any issue with that.
Yeah, sorry, Ian, go ahead.
Well, there's a couple other questions over there. One was in regards to Eastern Regional and one in dedicated, and can they utilize the load board? And I think the answer to that, and just correct me if I'm wrong, Brett, is you certainly can, but you'd have to change your contract over to the OTR contract.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, is this statement incorrect that I'm about to make here, that the load board is just an alternative tool for OTR owner operators to find loads that they may want to take to give them more control if they want to use it?
Absolutely. Yeah, different load choice and flexibility, and the visibility is the biggest thing. So,
Yeah.
and really just the autonomy, right? I mean, it's a platform where you can pull it up and look to see which loads are in which areas and take what's best for your business. So, something I definitely encourage you to do. It's when owner operators contract with dedicated, there's a requirement from that customer to us where we're held to for capacity and making sure that we stay up with our commitments. So we can't have an owner operator that wants to at the spur of the moment take a different load. Now with enough notice, absolutely possible, but anyways, I think the load board is best utilized for an over the road owner operator.
All right. A couple final ones here. Let's see. How long will the beta run for? I think the answer is, oh, and let me just do a recap because I see a few people maybe tuned in late. The load board is out of development. It's going into beta testing. It's not ready to go yet, but it's getting close. Brett over there completely pinky swear that it was moving along, and you do not mess with a pinky swear. And he's gone again.
I love peanut butter.
Oh boy, I tell you, this guy.
We gotta get
So
it.
yeah, so it will be. It's going to be in beta testing as long as it takes.
Yeah.
I know it's frustrating. I know people have been waiting, but so much better to wait and make sure this comes out and works correctly. It's more complicated than I think a lot of us thought going into it. So we're really trying to
100%.
make sure we get this thing buttoned up. And then I see one question that I want to answer that's come up several times, especially with the badging, and is that can Swift drivers use night terminals? And in general, the answer is no. And the reason for that is just quite simply that Swift is so much larger than night, and our facilities are so much larger than nights that to give open access to night facilities could easily overrun them. So, if a driver is in an area and they, need to pull in, they don't feel safe, they really need to, talk to the terminal. The badges won't work automatically, but we've had lots of cases where Swift drivers have been able to stay or use night facilities, but it's not open right now, and that's just simply the logistical reason for it. There's nothing else behind that. So, all right, I think that's pretty much it. Brett, any other thoughts?
No, just once again, just wanted to thank everyone for their patience and for questions. Also, just thank all of you out there that are delivering all the goods that my family needs. And I know it's a stressful life at times and not the easiest of industries, but we just appreciate you and all that you do for us.
Yeah, 100%. And again, if we didn't get to your questions here, that we will do that afterwards. And oh, wait, is he coming back? He's just teasing
Peanut
us.
butter.
We're gonna bring him back just to say goodbye. Hold on. I kept it.
Welcome back, Ian.
Put you back in the middle. Well, you're
There
here
he is.
just in time to say goodbye.
Dang it. I'm frozen
Hey,
again.
it's an important part. Anyway, all right. Sorry for the anticlimactic ending there, but appreciate everybody who tuned in. Ian, Brett, thank you for your time in answering these questions. And most importantly, thank you to all our drivers out there and owner operators. So be safe and talk again soon. Cheers.
Everyone.
See everybody.